Thank you. Nice to have you here because you're going to actually have us tap into our entrepreneurial skills. But you have so many titles. You do so many things, so many talents. What would be your title for yourself?
My title would be megapreneur.
Megapreneur.
Not just an entrepreneur, but a megapreneur.
Okay, now there's a new word. So break it down for us. What exactly is a megapreneur?
A megapreneur is someone who has lots of interests, lots of passions. They're good at all of them, and they've turned them into businesses. They want to find out what they're passionate about because a lot of people just don't even know they don't know what they're good at. They don't know what they're really passionate about. So a lot of people come to me and they say, I got this idea. There's something burning inside of me. I don't know if it's a business or not, so let's work through that. So what I do is I actually work with companies who are trying to develop their own identities, entrepreneurs who say, I love this idea, I'm very interested in this, let's figure out if it can be a business. So we do a lot of brainstorming.
Now, what's the first thing you should ask yourself, or the first piece of advice you give to your clients when they say, I got it, I know exactly what I want to do, I want to be an entrepreneur. I have this idea, turn it into a business.
The first thing that I tell people, would-be entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, is just because you have a great idea doesn't mean that there's a market for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very
you
important.
and I, exactly. Good one. I think it's a great idea. My mama might think it's a great idea. My dad may think it's a great idea. But is there a market out there that would be interested in buying your services or your products? So when we move from your passion, your interest, then we go to, let's research. Let's go to the marketplace. Let's take it to the streets.
Okay.
Let's see if there's anybody out there who agrees with you, who says, yeah, you know what, this is a good idea. And I'm going to hand over some cheese, for your great idea for your product. Will the real you please stand up, which is about finding your purpose and passion in life.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, the real you, please stand up.
Please stand up, exactly.
Okay, and you give us some great tips in that book.
I do. I talk about finding out why you're here. Why are you here? All of us were born with a certain passion and a certain purpose and what I call in the book a divine assignment. So I think it's incumbent on all of us to figure out what that divine assignment is. Live your life. Don't worry what people are thinking about it. Find your purpose and your passion and go for it. I think there's value in college. I think the social networking that you get on college campuses, the fun, let's face it, college is the bomb. College is a lot of fun. So there are a lot of reasons to go to college versus getting a degree.
My name is Justin, and I'm a freshman at City College. And I just wanted to know what were the best loans and grants to apply for when you start your own business.
Good
question.
That's a great question. There are a lot of places that you can find money, and the SBA.gov.
Tell us where.
Exactly.
Where we find
Lots
money?
of free places, Justin.
Fran.
The SBA.gov is a great place to start looking for grants. There's a lot of free money, literally, that you don't have to pay back. So go to SBA.gov. It'll have lots of links out there for where the free money is. I'll give you a great example. I started my first business when I was 9 years old.
Wow.
9 years old. It was a snow cone stand in Dallas. Made over $1,500 that summer.
What?
I was 9 years old. Come on, I was doing it. I was 9 years old. But the great thing about that idea was that it just wasn't a great idea. It was a great idea because I was selling snow cones in Dallas where it's 120 degrees in the summer. So not only was it a good idea, the market was ready for that idea because of the weather in Dallas, okay? So
at 9, you don't know any of this talk. The market was ready.
Exactly.
At 9, you're just like, I need to make some money.
I need to make some money, and I know there are a zillion kids in this neighborhood who like sugar. So that's really how that idea came about. And I made $1,500 that summer. First place to look, in old jackets, in your sofa. There's always change. There's always loose change there. That's the first place to look.
Shake
I may have
out
a dollar
laundry.
or two in my pocket.
Okay.
That's where you look. Really, seriously, the place to look first is around your home. What can I sell? What can I pawn? Let's be real. What can I put on the market on eBay, if you will, that can actually bring in some money that can generate some startup capital for me? So that's place number one, my own surroundings.
Okay, so your own surroundings.
One step out of that is going to be family. Fam is going to be a good place to look because those are the people who hopefully love you.
Hopefully have your back.
Hopefully have your back, and they're going to support you. So really talking to them, take your business plan to them and talk to them about your idea and what your vision is.
Before we move on to the next thing, business and family sometimes
don't mix.
So how can you make sure that it's going to be beneficial for them too, and that they're gonna know, hey, you're gonna get your end out of this if this becomes successful? Do you write up a contract?
You do, and that's a wonderful thing to think about because my brother Alonzo and I have a real estate development company in Dallas, and we're great friends and we're great business partners and we're family. So it's working, so it can work. But we also have agreements. We have contracts. When it comes to business, it's just business. It ain't for,
great.
you know.
Your sister handed you a contract,
and I
you
did.
gotta
In
sign
fact,
it.
I was at home for the holidays, and I sent him a contract when I got back. We entered into a new business deal together, and I said, here's the contract that outlines everything we talked about. Please sign. Send a copy to my assistant. I mean, bam.
Business is
There-
business.
Business is business. We save the best for last.
Okay.
Because no entrepreneur should go into a business without a business plan, without something on paper that says, here's who I am today, here's who my business serves, here's the business I am in, and here's where we're going to be 5 or 10 years from now.
Okay.
So the business plan is the Bible. It's that piece of paper that every business needs. People always focus on, okay, you need to have a business plan, which we haven't talked about. I want to talk about that.
Okay.
You definitely need to have a business plan, but I want to talk about the physical stuff that you have to do. And I call those my 3 H's. HQ, heart, hunger, and hustle.
Heart, hunger, hustle.
That's right.
You need this.
You got to have a heart and the passion for what you want to do. It can't just be about the money. It really
Right.
can't. Cheese is great, but it can't just be about the money. You got to have that heart, and then you got to have the hunger. I mean, the desire, the drive that gets you out of bed every morning that says, you know what, I'm going to do this come hell or high water. This is going to happen for
Right.
me. It's that drive. And then it's the hustle. I mean, literally, you got to beat the streets. You see comics handing out their CDs, artists handing out their artwork. That's the kind of drive you have to be successful, because you can have the best business in the world, the best idea, but if you don't have that heart and that hunger and that hustle, nothing is going to happen for you. It's just not.
Fran Harris is here, and she's going to tell us how to make the perfect toast. Welcome, my dear.
Good to be here, guys.
So great to have you here. Give her a hand. Yeah. Give her a hand. You know, this is funny, and I'll just very quickly, I had to make a toast back for my brother's wedding like so many years ago, and it really can be a very sort of a frightening experience for a lot of people, especially if you're not used to public speaking.
Yes, absolutely. So the important thing that you have to think about when you're making a toast is to bring the energy. You really have to be excited, enthusiastic,
Right.
authentic about everything you're saying. But the most important thing is just to be real, just to be who you are.
Right, because people know you, and they'll kind of they'll know if you're kind of like, he doesn't talk like that, she doesn't talk like that. I'm going to put my glasses on because we're going to give you the 3 tips. The first being the one we just talked about bringing your energy.
Yes.
Second, you write in your book, use appropriate humor.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
When you talk about folks, I mean, you want it to be a toast, not a roast, right? You don't want to go out there and make, say that with me, toast, not a roast, right? So you want people to feel good about what you're saying. If you're going to use humor, make it about yourself. So self-deprecating humor is always great. I'm going to make fun of me, people are going to laugh, but if you start getting into talking about your shirt or your shoes, you know, we've all seen people who've done that.
Start making fun of the shirt.
Yeah, don't do that. That's not cool at all.
No, but it's because you're kind of starting off on a negative.
Absolutely.
And you really, if you're going to be negative, kind of mock yourself a little bit.
And people will laugh. People will laugh along with you, right? People will want to do that.
Just real quickly, should you? I mean, when you're doing something like this, should you be writing this stuff down? I mean, is it good to? I mean, because a lot of people can't do it unless they've got something in front of them.
Very few people can just get on stage and just be funny and excitable and that kind of thing. So if you know that you're going to make a toast, what you want to do is to take some notes. I want to say this. I want to touch on this. I want to keep it relevant to what the party is about, and then just go up there and be yourself.
Now, what about if you're up there and all of a sudden you see people kind of looking at you like happens once in a while to my friend Bob, and they look like they're getting a little Sorry, Bob. He had that coming after yesterday. You saw yesterday's show. No, but seriously, I mean, should you keep it? Is there a time limit?
Oh,
what should
goodness.
you do?
Please keep it brief. Always be brief, because the last thing, we've all seen people who get up there and say, you know, one time at guitar camp, and they just keep going on and on and on.
Right.
So you want to make sure you keep it relevant, keep it brief, maybe 30, 45 seconds at the most, and keep that energy going the whole time.
You know, how do you get rid of those nerves?
How do you overcome that if you've got nerves? How do you get rid of that?
You know, people used to say picture people naked. I don't think that's a very good idea, because that'll just make you start laughing, so you don't want to do that. That never works. What you want to do is to go up there and really think about your message. Think about what you're saying. For at the end of the year, we're talking about possibility, potential, what's going to happen in 2007 or whatever the occasion is, and just keep it light and positive, and keep it focused on what you want to occur in your life over the next year.
So if you were going to give a New Year's toast, let's say you're going to do something to your family, just really quickly, what should you be thinking? What are the ideas that should be rolling around in your head? Should you keep it just really short, really sweet?
This is not working. There we go.
Mine's working.
Yeah, one of the things you can do to kind of relax yourself is to have props like Guy and I have right now. You know, blow a horn, clink on the thing, give a toast to someone, clink, that kind of thing. But you really usually focus on gratitude, love, energy that you have for your family. Those are safe topics when you're making a toast with your family.
Keep it simple. Try not to be too funny. And if you're going to pick on somebody, pick on yourself and have a lot of energy.
If you're not Jim Carrey, don't go for the jokes. If you're not Jim Carrey, don't do it.
Thank you so much for being here.
It was great to be here.
Thanks for the great advice. Hey, by the way, for more on Fran and her top 10 tips for successful public speaking, make sure you go to ivillagelive.com, and Fran's new book will it'll give you all the great ideas that you need. And by the way, we've got a preview of the book, and this is just gifted. You guys are all going to get a preview of the book as well. So, everybody. All right. Fantastic. Hey, thanks again, everybody. Thank you, Fran.
Right.
Take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching iVillage Live.